Hello, Gary. Thanks for joining us today. Gary, who I've known for a very long time at Windiate Architects. It's exciting to be talking to you today. We're going to be covering in this short segment working from home, which is really quite apt at the moment.
Indeed. G'day. Welcome. Hello.
This space, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And in particular, you've done some work on home offices and not necessarily having to dedicate a whole room to a study or an office. You've come up with some pretty creative ways. What are your thoughts on sort of what structure or what delineates a really successful home office?
Well, a lot of the home offices that we've designed over the time have come about, not necessarily the brief saying I want an office, but the brief saying I need a space to do things at home. It might be just touching base, working in the evenings, or it might be a place where the kids need to study and the clients just need a space.
Yeah.
So we've offered.
And I guess that there's limited space these days, isn't there?
There is, and there also, I think, should be limited space, because we've also had projects where clients have come to us with quite an expansive brief, and we've tailored it and made the brief smaller or made the house smaller to suit the brief. So rather than just having an office you don't necessarily use all the time, you can have a dedicated space that doesn't take up much space.
Yeah.
And use it when it's required and close it off when it's not required.
Yeah, okay. So this is an example of one of the ones you've done recently, and this is actually in a high traffic area in a walkway, and I'm assuming by the arches and plate and picture rails, it's a Victorian, is that correct?
Yes, and it was a renovated house, and we looked at creating almost a cupboard off the hallway to use as an office space. Yeah. Behind that office space is a bathroom. The bathroom didn't need to be a large bathroom, so we claimed some of that space in the footprint and gave it back to the hallway. Okay. And then created a small office. And as you can see there, when the office is not in use, the cupboard doors, the bifold doors just close, and it's a concealed space. It could be a linen cupboard, it could even be a laundry, but for this project, it was a home office.
And you did one in Hawthorn as well, and that one I'll bring up. That was very creative. They didn't really have a space for a separate office, but you did it in the lounge room in a cupboard.
Yes, so here we stole the office space. There is at the very end of the existing house, and the existing space there was a large living room. We converted that large living room to a bedroom. The bedroom obviously didn't need to be as large as a living space. So we took away some of that space and offered it back to a home office that was off of the lounge room. And then that home office could be opened up as part of the lounge room. So if the kids were working in there, they could be seen but not felt like they're being overlooked, or the parents could use it as their office.
Yes, and I think that's becoming more and more prevalent with the use of computers, etc., to have kids, for safety precautions. Having 3 children myself, you want to have them in a highly visible area, and that way you're still in the hub, but yet if people come over, those doors that you've designed there just close it all off.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And I think also kids, well, like I've got 2 kids myself. When they're on the internet, they want to feel like they're being protected but not overlooked and questioned all the time. So if the office space or the student study space is in a kitchen area or a living area or something where the parents spend a lot of time, the kids can be off to one side doing what they need to be doing, but every now and then you can kind of just glance over and go, actually, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
And just check in on them and they're not sort of tucked away in their room feeling isolated and then leading to that, teenage years where they just feel like that's just where they belong, in their room, on a computer, on their phone, locked away, curtains closed.
That's right.
You know,
And when we spoke earlier about going to work from home, you had some very strong views about having a dedicated space to work from, not working from your couch, I think you mentioned, or your
yes, or on your bed and sitting in your pajamas. Yeah, actually,
separate.
yes, getting up in the morning, you know, feeling like you're actually going to work, and getting dressed as if you are going to work, getting up, trying to keep your normal routine so you don't feel like it's all the days bleeding to one. Over the weekend, I was out doing some maintenance work on my house and somebody walked past and they made a comment. They didn't even know what day it was because they didn't even know it was a weekend or feel like it was a weekend.
It feels like that space between Christmas and New Year's where you don't quite know what day it is, but it's like
Yeah.
a whole month. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
thank you for that. That's great thoughts and viewpoints if you are working from home at the moment and you're giving some thought to how you want to redesign. It doesn't have to be expensive either. You can just repurpose an area, a dedicated area, or you may wish to investigate something a little bit more structured. But as we've shown, it doesn't have to be a huge transformation of a separate room. It can be something as simple as a hallway cupboard.
Yeah, very much so.
All right, thanks, Gary.
Thank you.